Well, thank you very much for the invitation and the opportunity to speak with such a prominent colleagues and friends. Well, unfortunately, the Eastern Mediterranean is an unstable region. We always wish there was more in common with the Scandinavian countries or Benelux. Unfortunately, this is a much more complicated and unstable region, and we have quite a few problems. Old and more recent conflicts, terrorism, population flows, and failed states, and so on and so forth. And of course, there's also a vacuum of power over the past few years. The traditional powers have, to an extent, withdrawn from the region. Sorry, yeah, it should be okay now. They have withdrawn from the region. I'm referring to the US and the EU, who have new or returning powers. Russia, China is making an entry into this part of the world, and we have quite a few ambitious regional players. So this is a complicated security environment. And the problem is, as the minister mentioned, there is no regional security architecture. There are no institutions, no discussion fora that brings countries together to discuss their problems. And the only game in town is those trilateral, or at least that's how they started, cooperation schemes between Greece, Cyprus, Israel, and Egypt. Now we have new interested parties, the US, France, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and hopefully there will be others. So this is the basis, the nucleus for building a regional security architecture. It will not solve all the problems, but it's a good start. Now, of course, the question we always get when we have this discussion is, well, should this be an inclusive or an exclusive club of countries? And obviously the answer is it should be inclusive. And there's an obvious absence there. Turkey is an important country for the region. So if the question is, should Turkey join such cooperation schemes, the obvious answer is yes. But if the question is, can Turkey join under the circumstances? Well, here we have a problem, because Turkey seems to be reversing the order of cause and effect. It has been complaining about being isolated in the region. Well, it didn't happen exactly that way. Turkey has become isolated because it has been behaving aggressively towards a number of countries. And if you look at the situation, Turkey has no diplomatic relations with Egypt, has quite a few problems and a low level of diplomatic representation with Israel. It doesn't recognize the Republic of Cyprus and has its own share of problems with Greece. So I think, yes, Turkey would be welcomed, and there are many common interests: energy, security, economy, trade, and so on and so forth. But it needs to play by the rules of the game, and it needs to modify its aggressive behavior. When that happens, I think the door will gradually be opened, not only to Turkey, but of course to other countries. So that's where we are. Turkey has been behaving as a spoiler. Hopefully it will modify its behavior. We haven't seen any signs of that yet, unfortunately. But one can always be optimistic. But until that happens, well, we are forced to cooperate and try to contain any spoilers, be that Turkey or other countries in the region.